I'm Daniel Vitalis. I'm a health motivator and personal development strategist. I develop strategies for people to implement ancestral ideas into their modern lives. So my concept is essentially that human beings are a domesticated form of Homo sapiens. And we haven't really recognized that. And domestication, unfortunately, is not really an evolutionary process, it's a degenerative process. So human beings haven't been getting really better, we've actually been getting sicker and weaker and less adapted to our environment. So I'm really interested in how modern people can become more adapted to the planet that they live on instead of being more adapted to, malls and hotels and sort of artificial environments. Particularly, my focus has been on diet. I have a big interest in movement and always have, but I hadn't really found that component that connected to natural peoples and how they moved. So in the course of my teaching, a lot of people would approach me and ask me, hey, have you heard of this in MovNat? Have you heard of this guy, Erwin LaCour? And I hadn't. So started looking that up online, found him, and thought, wow, this seems really similar to what I'm teaching, except from the movement perspective. And then invited Erwin onto my podcast, Rewild Yourself. And after talking to him, was really sure this is something I should try. Yeah, well, we've been moving kind of in every way that human bodies move. And so there's been, crawling and climbing and balancing and walking and standing and running, which I've been really excited about. I think this is bipedal locomotion, so fundamental to Homo sapiens as an animal. And no one's ever stopped me and said, hey, just sort of stop. I started walking, I was really young, about 6 months old. I feel like I rushed it. I feel like I've been rushing it since I was 6 months old, and no one's ever stopped me and said, hey, you're doing great, Daniel, but let's actually assess how you walk and run and move, and let's get you sort of tuned up a little bit. So it's been really exciting to do that. And there's been this real focus on efficiency, which for me has just been beautiful, because I think like a lot of men, I've used a lot of brute force in places where skill and efficiency could be more effective, and actually I could have more energy available to myself that isn't being expended that way. So there's been a lot of focus on not just all these movement components, but how we can do them more efficiently. It's been, the 2 courses back to back is intense. This is a lot of movement. It's pretty demanding. But at the same time, we're learning how to do all these things in a way that conserves as much energy as possible. So it's been kind of a nonstop, 10 hours a day of moving in every way we can move. And yet, what's been exciting about it is that I don't have any injuries anywhere. So I'm so used to something like this leaving with all of these injuries everywhere. I feel sore everywhere in a really nice way, but not injured. So so we've just spent, I'd say we break every, we'll do a movement pattern for a while, and then when it starts to get to sort of like everyone's maxing out on that, we shift to something different. So it stays really fresh, stays really exciting. I think it's a really good balance of all of the different components. The philosophical part of it's been woven throughout the whole thing, so there's not been any really long, boring, didactic explanations, which I think is nice, because there certainly could be. But instead it's woven throughout, so that the movement is punctuated by moments of philosophy, which are nice breaks from the movement anyway. But throughout the course of the weekend and this week, it's been the philosophy emerges, sort of, and in a nice way that you start to understand it from within yourself. I think that's really nice. We never do anything for too long, and we never break for too long. So my body's been warm for days. And I really feel like I have a good handle now on the MovNat philosophy, but also competency in teaching it, which is also really amazing. So it's been an immersive thing that I feel like I can impart to other people. Knowing that people can come and learn the system for themselves and also be able to impart it to other people and even create a sort of business out of that's really, I think that's really amazing. I think it's a really big gift for people. It attracts really open-minded people, really progressive thinkers. It's attracting people who are kind of sick of what's out there, who are maybe early adopters of something new. I feel like the people here are progressive thinkers, and they've tried a lot of other stuff, and they're sort of at the cream that's rising to the top, I'd say, in the world of movement. So it's people who are ready for that next thing. But also seems like there's a big focus on, it's not a real vain environment. It's an environment where there's a lot of heart. I feel like people really want to do good things. The people who I've been working with all seem like they really want to contribute to the world in some way, and they really care about people's health and well-being, and they want to see the world be a healthier place. So I'd say it's like a community of people who are really There's a lot of altruism, and from the instructors, both Erwin and Vic have been really, they've shared a lot. You can tell that this is their passion, so they're very personable, they're very available, and at the same time, there's just enough discipline and intensity so that you're not being coddled through it. You have to push and work at your edge, and you're expected to perform at your edge, for sure. But at the same time, there's enough support so that you feel like you aren't going to get left behind either. So I think everybody's been challenged here, but nobody's been left behind. Yeah, I just think MovNat will be part of my life, and I'm really excited to incorporate it in, because I think that for me, I've got a real good handle on the nutrition piece and on the lifestyle piece. But this piece, those things together are really a complete package. So I feel like I was missing this component. I was doing a lot of things that from the outside would look similar, but now that I've learned it, I realize that they can be done so much better and more efficiently. So I'm really excited for how it's going to impact the movement that I'll be doing for the rest of my life.